Hello, YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and this is another episode of the 1965 Chevy pickup truck that hasn't run in 17 years. It also hasn't had its passenger door because the rocker was welded on 3/4 of an inch too high. I take care of that by cutting the rocker off. We'll put it back on later. Let's see if we can get it running. I'm here today with this 65 Chevy, and we just ran a pressure test on the motor. Take a look. So that's good news. It holds pressure at least well enough. I mean, it drops real slow, but that could be a clamp or that could be a very small leak. But we're concerned there was a hole in the block, and now we're not concerned. So the next step is let's get some ignition on the thing. A lot of extra parts came in this truck. Well, they're not extra, but they do go to it. I don't know that it needs a new distributor, but since there's one in my hand right out of the box, it's going in. We also have some plug wires. These were in this garage actually, so we're gonna see. These definitely will fit. Let's see if we can get this thing lit. This truck came with a painless wiring harness, and inside it was already connected. All we had to do was basically connect it to the distributor and the motor itself, and we are able to turn it over on the key. We're getting power in the coil but not out of the coil, and the distributor is new. So we're gonna go replace the coil, and then we'll see if we can get life in this thing. It's fuel.
Yeah. We got great spark. Great spark.
Good.
Watch this thing when I turn, just so you can see. Yeah, you have to hold the
Ignition.
Yeah, paint. You ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's really strong compared to before.
Yeah.
We just needed jumper cables and a running vehicle and starting fluid.
Yeah.
Light it. Come on, baby.
That's what I'm saying.
It's right there.
If you could just go.
It's right there. It went. I mean, like, it should go. Now, keep in mind, most of the stuff I've been doing in the last 10 years is fuel injected.
Yeah, it's just fuel. It's just fuel.
Open that. Ignition. Come on. Ah!
If you could pedal, it would start. Yeah.
Well, I can, but you ain't giving it no more gas.
Right.
Oh, it's right there. Go do it. Not enough.
Yeah. Needs gas. Needs more Melgon.
Well, we've lined up top dead center on the #1 cylinder, and the rotor's pointing in the right direction. It's on the compression stroke. We have spark, seems to be at the right time. We have fuel because we're dumping it down the intake, but we still have no ignition. Every once in a while it'll spot, pop. So we're now checking compression because this isn't right. Something's not right. It should have lit. Whoa, fire, stop.
Suck it back down. There you go.
The spark set it on fire.
Smart.
Yeah, from this.
Oh, because it was laying on it?
Yeah. Try it again.
Well, make sure that picture's
It went out.
before, man, it really...
It was turning quick before. One of the reasons it's so difficult is because this engine sat dry, untouched, unrotated for almost 20 years.
that's what like the pump isn't pumping up anything.
No.
So either the pump's bad because it's just, I don't know.
I'm sure it's just stuck. We have to take it all apart.
Well, I mean, either this pump's bad or the bowl's stuck.
Yeah.
You know, and if the pump's bad, you can bring it back to life.
Yeah, yeah.
Because all it is it's a rod with a little
plunger.
Rubber thing,
Yeah,
plunger
I've seen them. They're like a Harley.
Yeah.
So I take apart the fuel pump to free up the check valves and get it to pump, and we also rebuilt the carburetor.
I'm falling down and hurt
Don't
myself.
fall on the chickens, man.
I'm falling in
You're gonna step on the chicken. Hold on.
Where?
All right, we're gonna try and fire it up.
All right.
We have the carb rebuilt. All right, Jeff, ready when you are. Give it a go. That sounds good.
Yeah.
That is exciting. It ain't running though, but it's exciting.
Yeah. It's got cam in it, man. I'll tell you that.
It never ran before.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I haven't done it before.
That might help. If we could pump that while that's doing it, wouldn't it run?
Uh-huh.
Like if I could pump, so if I should put down this camera.
Yeah, quit fucking around.
This thing is definitely not real interested in running. It's got it. Yeah, it's got spark.
Yeah.
On videos, it looks like they just tinker around, twist a few wires, put a little fuel, and turn the key, and fucking magic happens. And you know what? This thing is fighting. It is fighting. Ha! I think that was a run, fellas. I'm classifying that as it runs. I'll tell you, that was a long, hard fight, but we finally got it to fire, right? That was pretty awesome. There's still an awful lot needs doing. There's a lot left. We have to arrange all the pulleys and belts. Some of them are here, some aren't, so we're gonna have to make that all happen. The full cooling system, a fan, there's no drive shaft, there's no shift linkage. Yeah, the full interior has to be put together, but the main thing is that we finally got it to fire. And it was a combination of timing and fuel, and that's what happens when they're old and they sit a long time. Well, that's what we had here. Now that it runs, there's a lot of details. Obviously, cooling system, full belts and pulleys. Mainly though, the next step is this door. This rocker, or sill as they call it in the UK, it is in fact too high. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. They're gonna lose a little paint, but that's gotta come off. And it looks like it's not welded everywhere, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna take this rocker off, I'm gonna put the door on, then I'll tack this into place, open the door and finish it up, because it's just not, it's not gonna happen like that. So that's the next thing I'm doing. Did anyone happen to mention it's 100 degrees outside right now? Literally, it's 100 degrees. It might be 97. Whatever. That's hot. Hopefully it didn't cost them too much to have this repaired, because it looks like all they did was weld a piece of junk over top, cut the old one off, take the new repair panel, and stick it on over top of everything because it came right off.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? All I'm going to do is drop it. I'm going to add some. You know, I'll add some. It's literally 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah.
I'll just make a piece and, you know,
Yep.
I'll anchor it properly. And yeah, they had it tacked in a couple places, but it broke right off. So that's a good scenario of that.
Yeah, that worked out good.
Right. So now I'm going to hang the door, and then that's it. That's all I'm doing for today. That's fucking great. We got it running, and I got the door on. The door hasn't been on in 20 years or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Well, we did get it on, and that running condition, let's go back to that. But it's running off the battery. But I don't think that matters.
It'll run until the battery dies.
Yeah.
Actually, this one's good now.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
that's
sitting.
fine.
Yeah.
As long as they're not resting on it, who cares? I mean, the wires are not right for this anyways.
Right.
I'm just going to hang on to this. You should be able to just light it,
Yeah.
and it should just run. What happened?
It opened.
Oh, the thermostat.
Yeah.
You were pointing. I thought something was on fire.
Oh no, my finger.
Oh.
I drilled through to the meat, and I had to cut around it. So I was going like this, squeezing.
Oh,
the
I thought you were pointing like, dude, dude, dude. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, no, sorry.
Well, that paint smells great.
I know. Let that shit fucking
Smoke for a
smoke
minute?
for a minute.
Yeah. Man, seriously? Now, what was wrong with that ignition?
What's that?
The ignition key. We hooked it up and it wouldn't turn on. It wouldn't power this. That's why we ran it to here.
Yeah, that's why we straight shot it. Yeah. Maybe not get the love that it needs.
It's gotta be. I won't even touch the throttle this time. I probably flooded it. Unless the cylinder's filled with water.
Yes.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
Water?
No. What is it?
That's oil.
But it's milky. That's it. That's like the tranny one over there. Underneath the battery box.
Yeah, you know. Ooh. This is not a good color.
No, she got problems.
This is not a good color for you, mate. I don't think that's a good color
That's
for you.
done.
You don't know yet.
Oh yeah, that's why it stalled on us. And that's why it won't fire now.
No.
I'm telling you, blew a head gasket.
It's all oil.
It's water.
It's oil.
I have never seen white oil unless it's got water in it.
I've seen white oil. It's gotta be. It'll run. Try it again. Woo! Many things have occurred.
Yeah, just let that chill a second. It's full of gas.
I got it on film.
That's a backfire up through the cob. Generally indicative of a serious situation.
No, it is not. All it means is
I
I
know.
bumped the
I know.
distributor.
No, you probably didn't either, though.
I did though,
Oh,
earlier. Yeah, I put it back where I thought it went. I turned it that way and then I turned it that way, but only a little bit. Like literally,
Yeah,
like.
oh, backfire out the carb, you'd have to crank. It would have to be. It'd have to be severe.
Oh yeah. No, it's not doing that.
Yeah, so you're in
I mean,
the realm.
Something severely retarded. I'm not sure what it is.
That was pretty good.
That was good. It was a large fireball.
I've seen that before.
I've seen it before
Yeah.
too. We've had to take our jacket off and cover the fucking carb. And
All
put
you
it
do
out.
is turn it again, let it suck it down.
I know everybody stops and now everything's on fire.
Yeah, just keep turning the key, it'll suck it down. So,
I won't touch the
Don't touch
throttle.
the gas.
No,
Yeah.
no. I gotta touch it a little.
all right, well, hang on. We're clearing the cylinders. It was flooded, is what it was. I did that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, all that oil
Yeah.
is coming out of the fucking exhaust pipes.
That's what I was trying to find out. Yeah.
It's coming out of the exhaust pipe.
Yeah. So at a minimum, the head gasket shot. At a maximum, the head shot. It's like, so do you think they sell these radio knobs in chrome? I'm like, what? And then he's like, well, why do you get so shitty?
Look, man, you don't need radio knobs in chrome. You need your engine not to come with oil out the exhaust.
Right.
And then this lovely milky color. There's a problem in paradise. I want to get a light, though, so I can see up this thing's ass, because it's got problems. That's not good.
Oh, look, it's pissing out the fucking front. Oh, that's probably the overflow.
Yeah, that's probably the overflow or a leak on the front of the motor, like...
Oh, it ain't the overflow.
Oh, well, let's check out that. That'll make good video footage when we can see 3 portions of exit.
Oh, it's this. It's coming out of this.
The back of the...
Yeah.
The overflow?
The
Ah! Don't touch that.
No, it looks like it's coming out the weep hole in the back of the water
the
pump.
right, which means the water pump's no good.
Right.
Yeah, if it's coming out of the weep hole.
Nope. It's the hose.
Okay.
It just needs to clamp.
Yeah, the hose is fine. Yeah, I see. I don't have the clamp on as good as it could be.
But I can see right here, right exactly where it's coming
Yeah.
up and over and down.
Fine. The hose doesn't trouble me.
Right.
The cylinder's full of oil.
And water.
And water.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the head or a head gasket, but it's... Hey, that's hot!
Yeah, I know it. Look at it.
Sun's out, guns out. Son of a bitch. All right, well, all's well that ends well, except for this didn't end well. No point in them plug wires. I suppose I better send them a text and be like, ho, ho, ho. This ain't Christmas. We got some decisions to make.
Yeah.
I mean, I pressure checked it, remember? It held pressure. Which means it could be coming out of what? Where would you get all that in the head?
It could be as simple as it did pressure test right, but after it got up to temperature with water pressure, now you just lost it. You know, everything expands, the gasket blew. Because there is...
Okay, well, it's coming out of that oil fitting on the top.
Okay, which means...
I can see that oil fitting on the top, which means it's circulating...
Through the whole fucking motor.
Through the whole motor, water and oil.
Yeah. At a bare minimum, your valve seats, your valve seals, are dry rot from sitting for 14 fucking years, and you're getting oil in the cylinders that way. But you also
But it would be burning it though. You'd see smoke, oil smoke. If you were getting it through the combustion chamber like a valve seal, it would smoke, billowy white smoke.
Yeah.
We're not getting that. We're getting raw oil pouring out of the cylinders. And then you're getting out of the engine.
It's a cracked head.
Yeah, it's either a cracked head or a cracked block, but not on the water jacket side.
Right.
Because the water jacket pressured. It held until we got it running, and now we definitely have water in the oil. This motor does, in fact, need to come out.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit of a bummer, because, I mean, it sounded good before we put coolant in it.
It really did.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it has value to someone.
Oh, yeah.
Not to me.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm not going to rebuild this engine. There's just no point in it.
Well, the problem is, it's got the 202 heads. If the head's junk...
Right, it's a freaking 383 or 283. It doesn't mean anything.
The heads are what's worth.
Yeah, the heads, the headers, the carb, and the intake, and the cool valve covers, I guess, and that brand new Excel distributor. Right. I mean, that shit's brand new.
Yeah, which you aren't going to use in anything that's.
We are not using it.
Right. It's
gonna be an LS motor. I'm feeling it. Otherwise, I don't know. I gotta make some calls to my psychiatrist. So. If the coolant system is holding pressure, it's not just a head gasket, because I tested it. It held.
Correct.
So the fitting that's leaking oil out of the back, dripping on the ground, that's circulated oil that has coolant in it. Mm-hmm. But it's not coming from the water jackets, because the water jackets hold pressure.
Correct. So it's gotta be coming from the block?
Unless we wouldn't hold pressure if it was cracked. Unless when it got hot.
Right.
And we put coolant in it, it expanded, and then pushed the coolant into the oil.
Right.
And then how do you explain the fucking raw oil coming out of the exhaust pipes in the back? Not burned oil, not billowy white burned
raw oil.
Raw oil, literally fucking oil. It's possible that those headers were full of oil until we got it running. Maybe there was an issue before, maybe they kept, wait. we may have filled that full of oil when we were running it with no coolant.
Oh yeah.
Because there's no coolant in it, we were running the motor, it still had its fucking cracked block or cracked head. It was leaking, filling those. Because it's clean oil in the headers.
Yeah, like
right.
like you just poured brand new oil down the pipes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's got to either be, it's got to be cracked, and when it expanded, it mixed them, and it's pushing out the oil that we put in there from before. But it's not like valve seals because it ain't burning.
Right.
It's
yeah,
pouring
it would still burn it if it was valve seals.
Right. You'd get a cloud.
Yeah.
Whatever. So temperature test. That part works. We got it up to temperature. I don't think this motor's long for this world unless somebody wants to rebuild it. But honestly, I'm not a rebuild the engine kind of guy unless it's a really cheap Hemi that I can just throw a piston in and put it back out on the road. This needs a full examination. We need to get
it diffed and fluxed first, just to see if it's where the crack is, if it has a crack, and if it does, that's junk.
Right.
You know.
Right. It needs a proctologist.
So yeah, you're looking at $500 sending something out to do that, and then it comes back junk. You just wasted $500.
Yeah. Right now, the only money that was wasted, it really wasn't wasted. You got a battery, you got a radiator. We rebuilt the carb, but that's a usable carb. It can be used for anything. This is all real common stuff. So, I mean, there's some value in parts here, but the truth of the matter is this is not going to run in this truck. And I just burned my hand again!
That thing is hot. I'm telling you.
It's hot today. It's going to be hot tomorrow. All right, whatever. This is over with. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned to the channel and make sure you follow this build because we're not sure which way we're going to go. Do I want to put a diesel in it? Well, it's not up to me. I know somebody who's got a 6.1 LS motor. Again, it's all going to come down to budget. And you know me, I don't have a lot of money, and neither do my friends. So at the end of the day, we're going to get it running, but we don't know how. And thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.